Hello and welcome to another Chelsea chat. And last night it was Chelsea 2, West Ham United 1. Graham Potter coming back to the bridge and leaving like he used to leave a lot of the time without a win. But hello and welcome to another Chelsea chat. I'm going to do this one all in one take because I haven't got time to edit it today. So last night was Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. Graham Potter leaving the bridge, not for the first time, without any points on the board. West Ham, they look, I don't know, obviously better with Bowen up front, but he's got a big job there, hasn't he? Not one of the great West Ham sides of all time, it has to be said. But they met a Chelsea who I think are more boring now than at any time I can remember in history. And I saw my first game in what was it, 1968-69 season. They're how can I really explain it? There's no excitement in their play. One move last night, a back heel from Cole Palmer that I thought was out of this world, but other than that, not a lot going on really. We'll play it backwards or sideways when we can play it forwards. I thought we were going back to the days of Potter. I I really did when we just didn't look like we wanted attack at all. It was boring, absolutely boring. That first half was horrible, actually horrible. I've got to be fair to Maresca. When he changed after 5 minutes, he brought Neto on and he brought Gui on for misfiring Jackson, and it changed the game. We looked a lot more sprightly. Still looked like we had a mistake in us at the back with Jorgensen, a couple of awful balls out, and one slipped catch that had me worried. And then, of course, we had Colwill. There's always a mistake in him. I know the lad's rated really highly, but do you know, I thought against Manchester City, I thought Chalobah not having his greatest game, but I thought he was the best defender on the pitch. So last night he gets dropped for Tosin, who I think's decent, and Colwill still plays in the side. I'm not saying sell Colwill, but what I'm saying is maybe give the young lad a rest. Maybe there's too much pressure on his shoulders because he's not strong enough at the moment, in my opinion, which I think was borne out last night, and not just last night, a few occasions, particularly against City, and he gets caught out of position too much. He's good at running out of defence, but very often that run out of defence is finished off with a poor ball, which then leaves him out of position and leaves us in trouble. I'm not blaming Colwill for last night. It was just an unadventurous performance, which presumably must come from the training pitch. So anyway, as I say, it's gonna be short because it was just a nothing game. The only thing I can say was I'm glad we've got 3 points, and after you've won one game in seven, getting 3 points is the most important thing. So we had Jorgensen in goal last night. At right back we had Reece James. Inside him Tosin. Inside him Levi Colwill. Cucurella at left back. In front of them we had Caicedo and Fernandes. Thought Fernandes was decent last night. In front of them we had Cole Palmer in the middle with Sancho on his left and Madueke on his right. And up front Nico Jackson. Nico Jackson looks like he might be injured, but he needed a rest anyway, to be honest. But unfortunately, it looks like Gay's going to be injured as well. With Felix going out on on loan, you watch now. We sent people out on loan. We'll need them. And yeah, Madueke maybe should have scored. He cut inside once and hit the ball wide when there were two players screaming at him actually for a pass. But I'm not blaming Madueke for taking it on, and it was probably a foot wide. That's about all he did. I Sancho again maybe should have scored. Um, he looked the more dangerous of the two. And in midfield, Caicedo was combative as always. Enzo worked really hard, gave the ball away a couple of times, but did a lot of good work. But we just sort of sideways stuff, isn't it? Unless Cole Palmer gets it. And when you think online, people criticising Cole Palmer for losing the ball. Well, the trouble is, when you take risks and you try and go forward, you are going to lose it. Eden Hazard used to lose it. But the benefits, for me, outweigh the downside of having a player like that. So, yeah, Cole hasn't been on form, but he's the only hope we got last night. At least he took a shot at goal. I know it was a wicked deflection. Probably unfair on West Ham, to be honest, even though we had the lion's share of the possession, because the possession was nothing, and they had probably more chances, more clear-cut chances than we did. But yeah, nothing game. I'm just going to score him. Jorgensen gets a 5. He put the shites up me exactly the same way that Sancho does. Our best goalkeeper on the staff, Petrovic, still out on loan after the transfer window, which either says a lot about the sporting directors or the manager, I don't know which. Reece James, not really at the races at the moment, not getting forward. For me, you know, he's a 45-minute player at the moment. I'd rather see him be Reece James for 20 minutes and then come off as he gets used to that long layoff. But yeah, no, last night, 5. Inside him, Tosin gets a 7. Thought he was very decent last night. Didn't put a foot wrong. Won a lot in the air, and I'm glad he did. Colwill gets a 4 for the reasons I've already given. Cucurella gets a 6. In front of them, Caicedo gets a 6.5 and Fernandez gets a 7. In front of them, Sancho gets a 6. Cole Palmer gets a 7.5 and Madueke gets a 4.5. Up front, Nico Jackson gets a 5. Pedro Neto, when he came on, made a big difference. He would have got a 7 from me, but I don't score the subs. And Maresca last night gets a... He's going to get a 6 because he did change the game with his subs, but I don't know what's wrong with that side. They seem so regimented that they've got no flair. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't know what to say. They're not the team that started the season, that is a fact. And I can't believe that Lavia missing has made that much of a difference. Nico Jackson up front just looks devoid of confidence, doesn't he? He when there's a chance to shoot, he'll pass. But that's the same with a lot of our players. Not Madueke, though. He'll shoot when there's a pass on and two people with an easy tap in into goal. So you can't win. Transfer window, what an absolute disgrace. We obviously need a centre forward. We obviously need a centre half. So what do? We go out and buy a 19-year-old inexperienced midfielder. If we don't make top 4, which I think is touch and go, I'll be honest, then sporting directors have got to go, in my opinion. And I know I get criticised. People say, "Oh, they signed Cole Palmer." Yeah, they did. He was their 3rd or 4th choice, I think. So yeah, I don't buy into that one. Let me know what you think about the game. Let me know what you think about the transfer window, and I shall speak to you after the FA Cup game at the weekend. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, up to Chelsea.